Welcome to the Rabbit Hole podcast. My name is Chris, and today I'm here with Josh and Jesus. Now, because of my birthday just passing, I got this weird inkling to talk about death, specifically the craziest ways that people have died. Now, the first place my brain went because of this was the movie Final Destination, and have you guys seen those movies, by the way?
Yeah.
You know, people die in some really obnoxious ass ways and shit. So I thought at first, I was like, all right, maybe weird people have died because there's no way specifically people have had death follow them. And it turns out they did. Do you guys believe in that whole thing, by the way, the concept of a Grim Reaper? Or do you think death is just up to chance?
It's like a 50-50. I think when we're ready, we're ready. When you told me about this topic, I was like, oh, the show 1,000 Ways to Die.
Yeah, that's what I thought of too.
Yeah, no, the Final Destination didn't even occur through my head.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to get there, too. I got some fucking wily ones. But this was, specifically where my brain went first. So I looked up, I Googled, literally, Final Destination that happened in real life. And from that, I got this, top 10 list. And there's really just, the same 10 things that happened that I found. And the first one that I found that I thought was, the most unique was there was this reporter. I think she was from Texas. But she was a news reporter, but for sports. Mm-hmm. And she was 24 years old. And she went to this mall in Toronto. And she would go on her lunch break to this mall. And she'd always go and eat sushi in the food court, right? And one day she's like, you know what? Instead of eating sushi on my break, I think I'm just going to take a walk. So she takes a walk. Now, that day when she didn't go, some dude decided to shoot up the food court. Shot 7 people, killed a couple. And so she's kind of like, oh, man, I dodged a bullet there, lucky as fuck. But 2 months later, she decided she wanted to go to the movies in Colorado. She went to go see The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, I can see where this one's going.
And she got lit up. So I think that's one of those things where it could just be a really fucked up coincidence. I think that's what most of these are, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, it's still weird that you could avoid one shooting and literally pivot into one of the most famous shootings in our country.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always, you know how they put the Purge movies out in fucking the 4th of July?
Yeah.
I remember I went to go see one of the Purge movies. I think it was the year Donald Trump got elected or the year before, some shit. And I was just positive in the movie theater that whole time. I was like, this is the day.
Yeah, I had those feelings before.
Because in this country, they talk about it a lot. Do you guys ever get, paranoid when you're in a public place? If somebody lit up this place right now, we're just fucked.
I ain't. Fuck that. I carry.
You carry?
Yeah, fuck that. I ain't gonna get... I mean, if I'm gonna get killed, I'm at least gonna try to take that motherfucker with me.
That's true.
If I die, I die, but nah.
You're gonna get him a couple times too, right?
That's right. America.
I always worried I'm gonna get shot while I'm taking a shit, in a public restroom.
I don't want to die like that.
Imagine getting cornered like that, bro.
I've thought about that.
Somebody trying to take you out in a public restroom?
Yeah, or if, say, one thing that I don't want to happen is, go to take a piss, some dude, tries to look at my shit, and then we fight, and I end up dying to him in the bathroom. Yeah.
Well, you
that's popped in my mind a couple of times. Yeah.
That specific scenario?
Yeah. You're not going to tuck it back in and then swing?
Because, it happens, the thought pops into my mind every time I go to take a piss. I always go, on either side.
Right? Yeah, that's a man rule.
At the very end. It always happens when somebody does not go on the other side. Everything is open. They're not right next to me, but they're still, in the middle or some shit. Mm-hmm. Then the thought pops into my mind. Okay.
You ever thought maybe, you reminded him of his uncle or something?
Maybe he reminds me of mine?
No.
That's a weird unspoken man rule, bro, the urinal thing.
Yeah,
I always, if there's an uneven, an odd number of stand-ups, I'll go to the one dead in the center.
Dude, I've gone where it was on, off, and if they're all fucking full, I'll go to the toilet and piss over there.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I didn't even have to teach my son that. Like, he already naturally knew to do that shit too.
Not to fill the gaps.
Yeah. Man, I would have been like, don't be gay. Just go to the next stall or something.
Bro, it's weird to me that there's some that like don't have the walls, and it's just like you gotta just be out there.
That's how it is at work. We used to have the walls, and they took them away.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go to the other restroom where, like, regular employees can't get to, they have the walls. But nobody ever uses them. You know? I don't know. Shit pisses me off.
Yeah.
Anytime a cockeyed motherfucker goes in, I wait until he finishes. I can't tell if he's looking at my shit and taking a piss at the same time and looking at the wall, or
Mm-hmm.
I ain't risking that.
Dude, I feel like this podcast is like 80% me talking about restroom stories.
It's all about wieners and stuff.
Well, no, because when I merchandised, even when I was in grocery stores and shit all the time, that's where I spent a majority of my time was in public restrooms, just bullshitting. So, you know, I always run into like some fucking dude with his weird ass fucking bathroom habits. And one was the guy who pulled his dick out like the second he walked in the door to like hit the urinal. And like he did it when I stepped out of the stall, so he didn't expect me to do that. So as he pushes the door open, as I'm like opening the door, and he's already like unzipped and holding it, and I like step out and turn to the right, and the stand-ups are past me. So he maintains the cock in his hand as we have to walk about 5 feet to pass each other like cowboys about to duel. And I remember the thought crosses my mind, do I wash my hands?
Imagine he was going to give you a high five.
Imagine if he nodded at me.
Was there eye contact?
No, bro. There was none. All I remember is I just looked straight, you know, and I'm kind of looking down at the ground a little bit. And I remember I could just see out my peripherals. I'm like, his dick is out.
I would have stared you right in the eyes, like, make sure I got dominance.
Oh, man. Fucking try to fist bump him.
Like, whip it out. We're having a sword fight.
Just fucking walk around. Just walk backwards and show your ass.
Oh, that's scary.
So another example of this Final Destination shit. This happened in Brazil in 2013. There was like this 21-year-old chick, right? She's handing out flyers outside of a club. She's fucking pumped to go to this event. She goes back home. She's changing to get ready. And her man's like, you ain't going nowhere, bitch. You're staying home tonight. I'm sure she was upset about it, but regardless, she didn't go. And that night, the club caught on fire. About 230 people died.
Damn.
Fucking, they couldn't, the exits were too small. People got trampled, smoke inhalation. People probably fucking burned to death. All that shit, right? So this girl, she's like, oh, it's because of my man I'm alive. He's my guardian angel. And like a couple weeks later, she's driving to go pick this motherfucker up from work. And she fucking just head on. Bam. Right in another car. Dead. And I think her boyfriend was with her and he died too. So that's just another example of somebody who escaped the tragedy. Blah. I don't know if that one, like I said, a lot of these just seem like coincidences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still kind of weird.
Well, you can't really...
That one seems more coincidence than the first one.
Yeah, because she could have been one of the ones that got out. She could have been like, I avoided everything.
Yeah.
That's true. A lot of these are car crashes.
Really?
Yeah, it's like you escape some like crazy tragedy and then it's like, you're just a shitty driver though.
Yeah.
A lot of Spanish motherfuckers actually. So another one is a 26-year-old from the a 26-year-old from the Dominican Republic, right? She was in New York. She worked in the restaurant at the very bottom of the World Trade Center on 9/11. She escapes. Fucking plane hits. She got out. Fucking, it says 2 months later in November, she died in another fucking plane crash in New York. A fucking plane crashed into a borough, I think. 259 people died.
Damn.
So what are the chances you avoid 9/11 and then another plane crashes?
I mean, yeah.
I mean, was she on the plane when she passed away?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah, I feel like that's
That's-
not coincidence. I would have been like, if the plane fucking landed on her, maybe. But
Yeah, so like to me, like it would have to be the same exact way, right? Like the first time.
Yeah.
So she was on the plane. I think to me that's more coincidence. If the plane landed on top of her, some final destination shit.
Yeah. Badass luck for real.
Yeah. Or,
But then again, like, how specific does bad luck have to be before it's not a coincidence?
I don't know. They only got one life. Once they're dead, they're dead. You can't really determine that.
Science. Okay, this one's funky. So in 1977, right? There's a basketball team from this college called Evansville. So the plane takes off and crashes fucking on takeoff. Something about the weight being uneven with their luggage or some shit. Whole basketball team fucking dies. Except their 18-year-old freshman with the fucked up ankle. He was at home, so he missed the plane. So it was considered like, you know, a miracle that this one dude survived. He didn't fucking get on the plane. Fucking 2 weeks later, him and his brother died in a car crash. So now they can officially say the entire Evansville basketball team was dead. And that's what the newspaper printed.
Yeah, that's not coincidence. For all you know, this dude was drunk driving, or a drunk driver hit them, and I don't know. I think, yeah, I just don't believe in that final. I believe there's a Grim Reaper, but he doesn't determine when you're leaving or not.
So I guess the concept is that if you've seen the movie, so you know the fucking concept. If you were supposed to die at one moment and then you die in a very specific way later, that's what it is death coming back for you. And personally, I don't know if I believe in that.
Well, the thing is, like, you can't really determine he was coming for you to begin with.
I mean, if you dodge a fucking thing you were supposed to go to, I mean that
there's-
was supposed to be your time technically, or it was a high probability that was your time.
Yeah, but you're ready to get skipped over regardless if it was your time. I don't know. My understanding is when you die, his job is just to take your ass to wherever you got to go. That's it. That's it. He doesn't determine to make your shit sooner or later. Just when God's ready for you, or you, the devil, whatever, they're ready.
Or man, just picture this, right? You're just a guy working in an office. You're watching porn on your computer. You know you're not supposed to. You got all these tabs open on your desktop. And, you know, the shift's over now, so you got to go home. So you got to close all these tabs. But there's one tab left over. And you log off and you're driving home and you're thinking about it and you're like, fuck, I left that one tab open. That's death coming back for you to close that one porn site. These guys are that last porn site.
Yeah, I can't see the scenario. I can't compare that to death.
Listen, bro. Thought about that real hard for about 10 seconds.
I did. I'm like, made me think, did I leave my shit open at work?
Okay, now this one's fucked. So, in 2016 in San Francisco, right? There's this little Asian chick. She's like 16 years old. Again, a plane crashes. But this time, everybody survives the fucking plane crash. Even her. But she was thrown out of the fucking plane. And she's like laying down in the grass in front of the plane. And there's video of this. That the firemen show up. And they're all walking around. And they're just kind of like literally stepping over her like body. And she's like on the ground in the fetal position. And they're trying to keep the plane from catching on fire. So they're shooting some type of foam all over it.
Yeah.
And they end up covering her with the fucking foam. And then they scoot the truck closer to get the fucking foam on the plane. And they run her over. And that's how she dies.
That's the biggest lawsuit ever.
Once again, are we calling this shitty luck or is this the Grim Reaper?
Shitty luck. First off, where the fuck was their seatbelt? 99% their
Could
responsibility.
have malfunction.
Could it?
Yeah.
Unless the
You
bitch
never
was
know.
a pilot and went through every fucking window. I just can't see her being just thrown out like that. She must have been walking around. Trust me, when I feel turbulence in a plane, my ass is sit down, double buckled and everything, dude.
Butt's like clenched to the seat.
Suction in.
Nah, but I thought that was fucked up.
That was fucked up.
Yeah.
Nah, so that's the end of the Final Destination shit. Now, this other part is where it gets fun to me. So I Googled the craziest ways people have died, and there's an entire Wikipedia page dedicated to this. And they break it down in terms of centuries. They've got, like, the Renaissance. They've got the Greeks. They've got the 17th century, 16th, 18th, all the way up to 21st. And so I started with 21st because it's just the most relevant. And one of the first ones that caught my attention, right? Have you guys heard this story? Because this is a well-known story and they made a movie about this. The pizza delivery guy who got kidnapped and they strapped a fucking bomb to his neck and made him rob a bank.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so that was one of the ones on the list. So I decided to look into it. Have you seen that movie? It's called 30 Minutes or Less. And in this one, what it was, like I said, it's a pizza delivery dude. He gets called to go deliver a pizza. And when he pulls up, fucking 3 people in a house at gunpoint are like, yo, you're going to put on this fucking collar and it's a bomb. And we're going to send you on a scavenger hunt. You got to go to these locations, and every time you go to one, it's like a key that's getting you closer to getting the collar off your neck. So this dude's like, all right. And they give him a homemade shotgun that's shaped like a cane. So it's literally like a long with the fucking round at the end. And that's where like the handle is. And so he goes to the first bank and he robs it successfully. And they said they have it on the video camera, and the people have this account of this dude like skipping out and like swinging the fucking bag. So they think he might not have been like all there. And the cops pulled up before he could even get in the car. They cuff him. They put him on the floor. And they're talking to him. And then while they're talking to him, they hear the fucking like ticking or the dinging or some shit, like a bell going off. And they back up. And then again, this is all on camera. Fucking, there's an explosion. And it's not like fucking you'd expect. Like I expected like this cool fucking like, it was an internal explosion. So literally you just heard a pop and he just like fell over.
I seen the video.
I didn't see the video. I haven't looked at that yet.
Yeah, there's a video. No, like you don't really see it. Like how you said, it's just like it blew inside, and so the dude just falls over.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I seen the movie too. The movie's kind of funny.
It was funny. Because he lives in the fucking movie.
Yeah, the
Let's
movie,
clarify.
there's a happy
it's
ending.
different. It's a completely different thing. He doesn't blow up and it's like jokes. But no, the reason that happened, bro, was that there was a lady who wanted one of her friends to kill her dad for his life insurance policy. And the dude was like, I'm only going to do it for $200,000. So that's why they kidnapped the pizza dude. And they were like, we need you to go rob $200,000 for us so I could pay my boy.
Damn. Why can't you just take the life insurance and pay him out of that?
You would think. Why couldn't they just make their dad do it? And then blew him up.
Will life insurance still pay you out?
Not if you're in jail. Maybe they would. Do you think they'd throw it on your books?
It'd be like you're doing criminal acts, so we won't cover it.
The law's the law, baby. America.
The law of the jungle.
No. But that got me thinking, like, what were you guys' earlier jobs? And imagine, like, a situation where you would have got snatched up doing them. My first thought went to when I was working at Walmart and we were car pushers. And some guy just pulls up and, like, pushes us in his van. And he's like, put this collar on. You got to rob Subways.
At Subway.
And, like, what the game plan would be to, like, rob a Subway. Like, would you start at the bread, or would you just go straight to the
I'll
register?
still order my sandwich, to be honest.
I mean, why not, right?
Play it off all the way to the cash register, and then that's when you rob them.
Pull out the fucking cane.
To be honest, you probably don't have to pull out a cane. They're probably just like, I don't get paid enough for this shit. You can have it.
Probably.
Yeah. Will you try to give them like signals, like I got a bomb strapped onto me, or will you just try to play it off all the way to the end?
What'd you give off signals? Like, it'd be a shame if I blew up right here in the line.
Hint, hint.
Oh man, how would you give off signals?
Like inflate a balloon until it pops. Some stupid shit.
Just fucking like ask for a tomato and just like throw it at that protective window they got.
Like, imagine that me though. Just, and they dumbasses be like, so you don't want tomatoes on your sandwich? Like, no, I want it. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Why would we pick Subway? Why could have picked anything else but Subway?
I don't know, dude. Where else would you want to rob, man? You're in charge of the heist now, all right?
Jimmy John's. They're freaky fast. I would have got done with my robberies in 30 minutes or less. And I remember I used to have a coworker at Ford, and I forget what was the hot sauce called, but it was like a tiny little vial about that big. But it came in a big ass box with padlocks and everything, and there was warning signs and everything. And he's like, "Yeah, man, I could make a fucking 20-gallon pot of chili and just put one drop, and it'll fucking make it the hottest chili you ever had." I'm like, "Why will you keep that fucking acid around? Like, what is the purpose?"
It was probably from that one fucking place, dude. Grinders.
The pizza place and
I think so. They got like hot sauce, different brands, and like one of them's like fucking near death. They got all types of wildly ass names like ass burning.
ass burning. God, nah, fuck, I'm good on that shit. Like, if I was gonna die like that, they were gonna find my dead body in a restroom, half naked and full of sweat, fucking face full red as a cherry. Yeah,
I remember one time I went to Tropicana and I pissed off the lady that pours the salsa into the chips. I think because they always speak Spanish, dog, and I don't speak Spanish very well, so I just don't even try. And I remember the only thing I said in Spanish was when she had like my bag of chips, and she had the little like squirt bottle of Valentina that they just fucking, what's the word? They just pretty much dunked one bottle into another bottle, and they're claiming it as regular chili. They had the little squirt bottle going in the chips. And,
I know what you're talking about.
So the lady like does one squirt, right? And she goes, "¿Estás bien? Is that good?" And I just went, "Mas." And mind you, I've talked English completely before this moment, but this moment I just choose to go, "Mas." And I remember she just kind of gave me this like weird ass look, squirt, like a little baby ass squirt, bro, like trying to fucking really get me on this sauce. She just kept like doing little dabs, and I just kept going, "Mas." I'm not gonna lie, I might have been a little bit of a prick about it, but fucking finally she goes, "Mas," after like 6 of them. And then finally she winks at me, right? And she just fucking lets one go, just fucking half the bottle into this fucking bag. And mind you, at this point even, I'm still like, okay, that's a little excessive, but I could still eat it. But here's where she got me, is after she puts the bottle down, she cups one into the bag, and she fucking shakes the fuck out of it like she's strangling a baby. And all the sauce just fucking shoots all the way down the bag. And she looks at me, and then she says it again as she's walking away. "Mas." And then keeps walking. And I refuse to, like, do anything about it, because low-key, I'm like, I brought this on myself. And I had to drink the chips and sauce out of the fucking bag, bro.
Oh, Jesus. I would have had the shits.
Yeah.
The Hershey squirts.
This next one's fun. I guarantee you guys have heard about this one too. So I got to preface this story by, in the 1970s, states still had all these like Puritan laws about how like oral sex and anal sex was illegal. You know, it's a crime. It'd be sodomy if you were like fucking butt banging somebody, right? So in the 70s, states started like letting loose on some of these laws, trying to make it so where you couldn't get arrested for having a fetish, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Washington, on accident and like undoing this law, they made bestiality legal. So in Washington, I'm not sure if this is current, but at least in the early 2000s, you could still fuck animals and it was cool. So, like I said, that was just prefacing. There was this guy.
Is it a horse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows this one. Do you know this one?
I think you told me this one.
Possibly.
Yeah.
One of the two.
So this dude, he was like, he was a regular guy. He had a wife, he had kids. He was buying a house and building a fucking farm on this property. He wanted to put fucking horses in it. But he had a motorcycle accident. So because of that, all the article said was it left him desensitized. So I'm assuming he had some type of dick injury. So because of that, the only way he could get like sensation was from his butt. So it started with him just playing with like giant dildos and shit just immediately.
Well, he didn't go small. Like he went.
Yes. And he eventually worked his way up to the horse, to where he'd let the horse play with his butt. Now, from there, he finds this online chat group of guys who all have like this fetish of like barn animals. So they all start meeting up at like random people's like farms and shit and just start getting pounded out by horses and other animals. And some of them are banging other animals. And at the end of it all, they're all having orgies together. It's crazy. And anyways, so the reason why this story's famous is because these dudes recorded this shit. There's hundreds of hours of footage and videotapes of all this shit.
I seen the video.
That's right. And the video is, there's one video of a dude. There was an accident while he's getting pounded out by the horse. Somebody slips, the horse slips or some shit, and it goes literally into his stomach and literally rearranges his fucking guts. And it was all filmed.
Yeah. That horse did not give him any mercy. Like, they set him up, and that motherfucker's like, just a tip, and nah. It was a fucking full leg.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell when that dude died. Like, you could tell when the motherfucker was just like, this is it. Another way I don't want to die.
In the video, isn't his first words afterwards, he says, "Is the horse okay?"
Does he actually?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just remember hearing the guy screaming for
Just that loud fucking...
No, he sounded like he was screaming for pain. And that wasn't pleasure. That was death.
They dropped him off at the hospital, and they just kind of left him there. And he was alive when he got to the hospital, but in like the waiting part of it, he fucking died. And it was from that the cops got onto this group, right? And they find this stash of fucking videotapes and stuff. They have all the guys that were involved, but once again, because it was legal in Washington, the most they could get them for was trespassing.
So this wasn't these guys' farms? It was just a random dude's farm that they were...
Dude, they were just going to random fucking farmers' ranches,
That's like the least fucking thought, but...
Yeah.
God, that would have sucked.
Bro, imagine just stumbling onto that group.
Imagine that horse just be like, I'm killing bitches with his dick.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, no, the video's fucked up.
You know what the horse was called?
Black Lightning. No.
Mr. Hands.
Mr.
Okay, that was the nasty one. This next one's lighthearted and a little more fun. So, again, South American country. This is Brazil. There was a priest, right? His nickname was the Balloon Priest. Now, the reason being is that this dude loved, like, skydiving and shit. He was kind of like what's that called? Like a risk taker? When you like doing exciting shit.
Thrill seeker.
Yeah, thrill seeker. Mind you, this dude's a priest. So what he does is he decides he wants to try balloon travel. but not like hot air balloon. He wants to literally take like a regular chair and tie balloons to it, like he's in the movie Up. So what he did was he tied 600 fucking balloons to a chair, and he got 17,000 feet into the fucking air. And he's wearing like a flight suit, like he's skydiving. And he does this successfully. He comes back down. He was flying for 4 hours, comes back down, nothing happened. So then he gets ballsy. And he's like, I'm going to strap 1,000 fucking balloons to a chair. And I'm going to try to hit 20,000 feet or some shit. And so he goes up and he gets lost. He disappears for like a couple days or a couple hours and they can't find him. And the last thing they heard from him was he had called him from a cell phone that night. So like probably 10 hours later. I'd like some help, please. Fucking nobody hears from him again for 2 months. 2 months later, half of his body is floating in the ocean.
Half his body?
His bottom half is all they find. His legs are just floating in the fucking ocean.
I'm gonna predict that fucking plane hit him.
That's part of the weird thing, bro. I looked, and there's no, like, solid thing that says how he died.
Was there, like, any teeth marks or anything on the body?
Didn't even say. That's what I'm thinking is maybe he landed out in the middle of fucking nowhere in the ocean, drowned, got ate by something.
Yeah.
But fucking, like, he had trained for, like, a long-ass time for, like, survival, mountain climbing and shit. And he went up with 5 days worth of food, a GPS, a satellite phone, all this stuff, right? So he did all that training, but he never learned how to use the GPS. So he couldn't, like, navigate where the fuck he was. And that's, like, low-key how he died. Or the reason they're saying that it went wrong. And you want to know the reason why he was going up in balloons in the first place? Was for charity, so that truck drivers could have a rest stop for prayer.
Huh.
Which is the most confusing part to me.
But he could just pray anywhere.
Exactly.
I feel like it was just an excuse so he could get sponsored.
Probably.
But look at you now, stupid. Half your body.
Do you guys ever have any like that thrill-seeking shit in you?
Nope.
I don't either.
You said what?
Do you have any like that thrill-seeking shit? Like, would you ever jump out of a plane or?
Yeah. So the way I could get hard now. It's just...
The horses are next, bro?
Yes.
No, I'm not up to that level. No, I like to do shit like that. Like when we're selling, I was parasailing. I want to go skydiving. Hopefully, I go skydiving this summer. I feel like I need to cut some weight. I don't want to risk those bands.
You know how like in the videos you're in front of the guy and he's behind you and he's got to like pull the thing? What if he like can't get his arms around you and he's a little dude and he's all like, "Oh no!"
I'd be like, "All right, before we jump, let me switch positions with you. You just unleash a parachute."
You're like, "I need the biggest, blackest guy you got to ensure enough wingspan."
Like, bro, get your arm off my leg. He's like, "What are you talking about?" It's all handsy. Just like I wanted it.
Nah, but so this other one, right? So in 2009, there's this Russian kid that's like a chemistry student in college. He's at home, right? He's just on his computer. His mom's like in the kitchen or some shit somewhere near him. She's doing her own thing, and out of nowhere, she hears a fucking pop, an explosion. And she turns around, and the bottom half of her kid's face is missing. Like if it's exploded. There's no gun, no anything. It's just fucking half of his jaw is just gone. And what it ended up being is that this dude, he liked to chew gum. But then he also liked to have some type of citric powder next to him. Some type of like lemon powder to make it fucking sour while he was chewing it. And so he was working with some chemical. And he accidentally thought that was his fucking powder or whatever. And he dunked it in that. And it was some type of like explosive fucking powder. So when he starts chewing the gum, when he crunched it between his teeth, the motherfuckers blew up in his fucking mouth.
Fuck.
I'm trying to remember what chemical does that, where you just get a water reaction to it and it burns into flames.
Not sulfur, right?
I can't remember, but I see it when I'm lying awake at 3 o'clock in the morning. That's the random fucking videos I see.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess he wasn't that smart, huh?
No. All I was thinking though after I read that, bro, is that sounds fire. Making like your gum sour.
You think that shit was like cinnamon flavored before he blew up?
Oh no, dude, that was definitely like salty as fuck. It tasted like shit.
Can you imagine a commercial exploding with flavor? Like,
oh man. That one just, I don't know why, when I read that one, bro, that one made me like grimace the hardest. Cause you imagine just fucking.
when you were telling me about it, you ever seen Saw? And when the girl has like the fucking iron fucking mask, and when she didn't accomplish whatever the fuck, it just ripped her face apart. That's what I pictured.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna give you a better idea what it's gonna look like.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine when he was about to eat a bitch out, and boom, bitch head she's ever
Gum
got.
in his mouth? Fuck.
You guys ever ate a female out with gum in your mouth?
Yeah,
I haven't.
I once got one out with a chick, 'cause she used to put like Jolly Ranchers up her shit. I mean, Jolly Ranchers ain't big, but it tastes good.
She put Jolly Ranchers in it?
Yeah,
Like while you were doing it?
she did it like right before, and it was great flavor. It was good.
So she would do it till like, bro, she probably tasted funky, and she was like, it was like a mint for the cooter.
It's like a mint for the good.
And you were just there like licking it up like Scooby Doo, bro.
Well, at least you made it taste better then. It's either that or go raw.
I wonder how do you like lick it first or you put it in dry?
What do you mean?
Like a Jolly Rancher is dry as shit.
Oh no, she said she licked it first.
Oh yes. That's awesome.
Did I be seeing these videos where these bitches like put ping pongs and they shoot them out like ain't shit?
Just fantasizing about catching them.
Mm-hmm. Like headbutting them like of a soccer and shit.
Fucking with a paddle, working on your stroke and shit.
See that?
That's fire. Okay, so I got one last one. So this is in 2013. Another Brazilian. Fucking this dude's just asleep in his bed, right? Him and his wife. And a cow falls through his roof and kills him.
Hey, what?
A cow falls through his roof, lands on top of him, and only he dies, not his wife, not the cow.
Holy cow.
And the way this happened was apparently in this part of Brazil, there's a lot of like hills, and this house was built very close to a steep hill to where the cow could just like accidentally wander and step onto the roof. And fucking in this year, it had happened 3 times, but just nobody had died.
Those motherfuckers are heavy too.
And that got me thinking of like of the most unexpected things that could fall through your roof and kill you. I feel like cows up there, but like, what do you guys think would beat it?
Mm-hmm. The most random shit.
Yeah.
The whole satellite just coming down. I mean,
That would-
flying bullets happen all the time.
If a satellite ever falls on anybody, bro, I'm blaming Mark Zuckerberg or Elon Musk, bro. There's no way that's an accident.
Did you guys ever hear stories about the, what do they call it? Is it blue ice from the planes, from the toilets when they flush them?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine that falling through your roof and killing you. Like if it was big enough, hard enough, whatever.
Imagine the person skydiving and they didn't deploy their shit, just laying on top of you and killing you.
A
But they
skydiver.
survived.
Oh yeah, but they survived.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Like, what happens if the plane is like, hey, we have to drop the load, we're too heavy, or random shit falling.
I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often.
And I don't know if it's true. I heard a story that a person once threw like a penny or a fucking dime over the Empire State Building and ended up killing somebody in the bottom from falling how fast it was.
I think I heard that too.
That's a urban legend, I think, because they did that on MythBusters, and like because it's so high and it's so windy, when you drop the penny, it's like getting blown towards the building.
You just see like
yeah.
random dude with a bucket of coins. Fuck everybody.
Some homeless dude's just telling everybody that happens, and he's just like sitting on this fucking mountain of pennies.
He's like, everybody's gonna get it. That's all he says.
I wonder if it does work like that.
Man, yeah. I mean, you see stores of construction people like they'll drop a hammer or a fucking tool and it's like going through them and shit. And coins, fucking yeah, you're right. Wind could probably just pick it up and just flop it somewhere else. But something heavy like that, I can imagine it's just going right through somebody. That's all we
Falling
got.
fast enough.
That's why we got OSHA
Looking out for number one.
themselves.
Man. Nah, but that's all I got for the death stuff. What do you guys think about the Johnny Depp shit?
I believe she took a shit. I don't know.
Why do you think she did it?
She's crazy. Like the bitch, I think she cut off his finger or some shit like that.
She threw a bottle at him and it broke and it cut his finger off.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
You ever had a girl like take a shit somewhere like really weird like that? Or do
Nah.
anything close to that?
Nah.
No.
I haven't either.
Like you see those dudes that have fetishes that get shitted on, and I'm like, why? You could have had any other fucking fetish.
Would you ever let a girl pee on you? Like not on your dick, like literally you're gonna lay in a tub in swimming trunks with like goggles and she's just gonna piss on you.
I must have got stung by a jellyfish or something. Yeah, now I don't see myself doing that shit.
Never?
It doesn't turn me on. It doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't benefit me.
What if it was like the baddest female you'd ever seen in your life and it was her idea?
And that was her idea. What benefits do I get?
I don't know, bro.
She paying me for this shit?
Maybe it leads somewhere. That's her opening fucking move.
That it's
Nah,
not, it's
give
not a
us-
high five or a hello.
Yeah,
It's-
give
Nah,
me
dude.
some money.
So you would do it for money.
Yeah, for money. I mean,
not
it's a
gonna name the
benefit.
price.
What's the price, bro? You've said it. I didn't.
Let me
not
check
gonna
my
name the
account. Let me
price.
see how much I got.
We talking like
What's gonna
$100,
change my
bro?
life? No, it'd have to be life changing.
Life changing just for that? What
Right
if you
now?
just? What if she just had to? What if you just had to piss in her hand? Or she let you? She pissed in your hand, like a cup.
What benefits is there?
Yeah, I just want it to benefit me more than
Bro, it's an extremely attractive woman who you get to possibly bang.
it does nothing for me.
Like
Bitches come
life
and go.
changing hot.
She might be like, "Here's the piss. I'm good. Have a nice day."
It's true.
I'm not gonna take that risk. I'm not gonna be known as the. There's a saying like, what was the saying? You could be a doctor, save 1,000 lives, a great engineer, build 1,000 bridges, but you suck one dick, and that's what you're known for. I don't want to be known for that. I don't want to be known for the guy that fucking had piss in his hand or anything.
You'd be willing to skydive, but you wouldn't let a female piss on you.
Yeah, it's two different things, dude.
They're the exact same thing. What are you benefiting
What?
from skydiving?
This guy's
My,
got,
a rush.
Imagine the rush of someone pissing on
it's
you.
not-
he's got
I don't-
principles, all right?
I don't have any rush. I could tell you now. That's not gonna be anything.
Try to force your fetish on us.
Yeah, I feel like you're little by little trying to tell us something. He's like, don't make it weird, you guys.
Listen, dude, it's great for your complexion.
He's like, you see in the acne? I think not.
My fucking shower's got like little fucking like handles that somebody's hanging from.
You think it's for old people, but it's not. It could still be for old people, but
Got a giant plastic tarp over my bed and shit.
watch. One day I'm just gonna be looking at porn and randomly video of you being pissed on.
It's gonna be me in a fucking a Zorro mask, bro. Oh man.
You see like those gangbang videos and the dudes are all wearing masks, but they had distinct tattoos. You're like, dude, somebody's gonna recognize that shit.
Nah, dude, I'd have it on the Rob Gronkowski like full sleeve.
What do you mean, full sleeve?
You ever seen? Doesn't Rob Gronkowski? He wears like a full fucking like one arm like sweat sleeve. I think.
Oh, I go like in a Spider-Man costume. Make sure nobody recognizes my ass.
The only thing out's just like the dick.
They'll probably make an adventure movie out of me.
Just the dick on the nips.
Just got the little nip holes.
How did we get there? Oh yeah, old girl shitting on the bed.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she did it.
Probably, dude. I don't know. I feel like the internet, bro, labeled that bitch guilty like immediately.
Yeah.
Bro, she was guilty from the start.
Have you watched the videos where the lawyers are like
Yeah.
giving their thoughts on it?
Even the lawyers look like pieces of shits on her side.
Yeah. Dude, have you seen like past videos of them like going to the wards and everything? And there's times where he's like flinching and shit every time she like moves.
Yeah. It could just be him though, dude. Have you ever been hit by a female?
Have I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like flinch afterwards around her?
Like I hard as fuck. Nah, I mean it's trauma. Trauma's trauma.
That's true. I guess people react to shit different.
Oh shit. Dude.
Nah, boys. But I think we're gonna go and wrap this one up, fellers. I appreciate you being here with me,
Always.
conversing about the Lord and his shenanigans. So all the platforms have been changed to Rabbit Hole. It's fucking the TikTok, the Instagram, YouTube, the Spotify's and shit. That's where you'll find everything. I'm not deleting anything, and I'm not gonna change the numbers. So I think we're like around 45 or 46. I'm just gonna start captioning them Rabbit Hole number 40, whatever the fuck. But with all that being said, this has been the Rabbit Hole Podcast.